The Plumbata is dead. Long live the Ferrata! Hi, it's Todd from Todd's Workshop and Todd Cutler here, and today we are going to look at Ferrata. So they look pretty much exactly the same as Roman Plumbata, and they work the same, and they do this. Peasant. But they are slightly different. For those of you who follow this channel, you will absolutely know that I love these Roman war darts, but they have a fundamental flaw, and that is that they are single use, and they were made like it. But for any newcomers and you old hands out there as well, I'll show you again why these things are just awesome. Fabulous. You can carry a load of them. You can throw them flat into the faces of your enemies. You can throw them high over obstacles. You can even throw them any which way you want and they will self-stabilise. Still awesome. The historical Plumbata consists of a barbed iron shank cast into place in a lead weight. Into the back of the lead is a flexed wooden shaft. It's the lead, plumbum being Latin for lead, that gives them the name. Of course, they use lead mostly because it's really easy to cast material for them. They could have made them in iron or steel, but it would have taken much longer to make, which is completely pointless for a throwaway weapon. Plumbata were single-use weapons, and that was absolutely fine for the Romans, perfectly designed. But the thing is, with a long steel shank going into a soft lead weight, multiple uses, it starts to get wobbly. And the thing is, for us reenactors, backyard historians, a wobbly shaft is no good at all. So, out with the Plumbata, in with the Ferrata. All steel construction at the head, Ferrata being Latin for iron. We have the long barbed head forged from a single piece with a thread here. That is recessed deep inside the steel weight of the Plumbata itself. And the combination between the steel head and the recessed thread make this a far more durable weapon. And then it comes with the European ash shaft and feather fletchings. And the best bit about the Ferrata is they're now available in sets of 5, so you can carry them inside your shield, just like the Romans did, available from toddcutler.com. Roman Plumbata were absolutely not standardised. They came in a variety of designs, shapes, sizes. But this Ferrata, coming in at 215 grams as an overall weight, it's right in the middle of what they should be. And they throw, peasant again, fantastically. And here we have a bit of a mystery, because we have plenty of the heads from the archaeological record. And we have some really scant, just a little bit of writing telling us about the things and how they were used. But we have nothing of the shafts or the fletchings that exist. And so what that means is these things, which are absolutely critical to how they perform, I've had to interpret. The Romans had pila for close quarter throwing, maybe out to 15 or 20 metres. They had some cord assisted javelins that would do sort of 70 or 80 metres, something like that for distance. But the writing said that the Plumbata would go even further than them. And that's the clue we're looking for. It's about distance. But the other thing is, Plumbata are easy to throw. These things take a real skill that I do not have. So what neither the Plumbata or the Ferata are fancy close quarter feathered throwing knives. They are distance missiles. And as a distance missile, you don't want really big fletchings. They'd stabilise faster, but that's not what they're for, because they will create loads of drag and slow it down. You could have a really long shaft. That would stabilise better. But we know that the Roman legionaries carried 5 of these in their shields, so you have to assume that they might be throwing them from the ranks, and a long shaft would be cumbersome. So I settled on this, and it is a fantastic format for distance throwing. You can throw them anyhow you want, and they will self-stabilise. But you know, because they're set up for distance, maybe over about 25 metres or so, under that, you risk damage. Ooh. But of course, like every other throwing weapon, clean throws are going to go further, so that's what you've got to practice for. Ouch again. The Romans were partial to civil war, but these are no good against armour. But against unarmoured opponents, they would be absolutely devastating, even if they didn't land that hard. Ouch. If you were unlucky enough to catch one of these on the battlefield, removing it is going to be a nasty and a messy business, and best not done there. But if you were lucky enough to be a Roman, you can go and see the surgeons, because they had a great trick, which I confess I can't quite remember where I learnt it. It's probably Galen, let me know if I'm wrong. But they'd take 2 bronze tubes or quills and they'd probe down into the wound until they could get them on the barbs. And when they're located on the barbs, you can draw it out safely, like that. Let's conclude. The Plumbata is dead. Long live the Ferrata! You can throw them standing. You can even throw them whilst moving forward. And I bet the Roman cavalry used them from horseback. And you can bet they threw them out chariots too. And that is the introduction to the Tog Cutler Ferata, a new updated version of the Roman Plumbata available from Tog Cutler. See you again. Bye.